Hello everybody, so I'm coming on here because I am wrapping up my series on Haarp and the weather manipulation. I've been doing this series for, wow, it's been like a solid 3 months. But obviously I had to stop at some points, unfortunately, but I always have to get back up and get back on my feet, because in this matrix, obviously, shit happens, right? You get banned, you get censored, you get energetically interfered with, but you just got to fight through it and know like kind of the cause that you're fighting for. And that's just been my mentality with this all along, because I know I'm just going to do a little rant before I get into my final part 9 and 10, but I know that, when I started this, there was a risk in doing this, and obviously I got removed from TikTok, and there was other, interferences along the way that I had. I had my phone hacked back on July 4th, which was a very interesting timing because I released a video the week before on predictions, and I said Haarp was going all out with the spraying that week, and then there was that flood in Texas. So I don't know what type of timing that was for my phone to get hacked the day that there was that, but that's a totally different story. It's mind-blowing, like the amount of interference that I've had. I still am getting interfered with on YouTube and Instagram, so obviously if you guys resonate with my content or share it with, or resonate or like whatever, just share it with other like-minded souls who would resonate with the type of information that I share. I'm very aware I'm not here for a large part of humanity at this time. I'm only here for that 5 to 10% who are at that level of questioning and awakening where they would be able to resonate with this information, obviously. So my intention all along has not been to reach mainstream, absolutely not. I think that's still a few years out, unfortunately. So unless if something happens in public, which all you guys know what I'm talking about there, which I'm hoping 26 or 27, which I know hopefully be one of those 2 years. I think 2027, I've been getting that hit for a while. So long story short, I'm wrapping up my series today on Haarp. I really went hard on this series from the beginning because I've been really tuned into kind of what's been going on behind the scenes for years now, especially as someone who has been connected to weather, knowing the difference between the patterns, knowing kind of the natural versus the unnatural and that discernment and all that. It's just been like very, all I've been wanting is for that shift back to, right, this post-Haarp interference shift, which is happening, right? So all my notes are just blowing away, but I'll get them when I have to get them. But I really am, I went hard with this from the start. Like I said, weird stuff happened. I've been definitely under significant shadow ban on YouTube and Instagram, which is not surprising. I will definitely consider starting my own website early next year, especially when I am, setting an intention to roll out more services, whether that's clearings or more group-wide stuff. Whoever would be interested, I definitely am going to look more down the route of starting that up in early 2026. So stay posted for announcements towards the end of the year, and also just starting a website just in case, obviously, things get shut down unexpectedly, which I can't say won't happen for a fact very soon, just because of kind of certain things that have happened after my Hurricane Erin, kind of bringing up that stuff before it happened, and just stuff like that. There was more stuff that ended up happening. And then with part 8 of my Haarp series, it's just, I don't know how much longer I'm going to have left on here. And I, like you guys know, like I'm not censoring myself, so it's going to be what it's going to have to be. If I do get taken off, unfortunately, we're still kind of in that split between the old and the new. 2026 is really going to when we're going to see these new. It's really good when we're going to start seeing the first glimpse of the new, right? The new Earth, new solutions, new all that. And 2025 is kind of this last, exiting the old, right? So there is going to be, I know I say a lot about 2027, 2028 up until 2030, but really 2026 is going to be that new, and it's really going to come with that 1 year. So, but yeah, obviously if this resonates, please share it with other like-minded people. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, follow my Instagram. I link the two. I post the same videos anyway, so you want to just subscribe or follow one, that's totally okay. And yeah, I'm gonna go right into just finishing up parts 9 and 10. And I did want to mention about these hurricanes. So obviously I am gonna take a little bit break after today's video just to have an energetic reset. But I will next week at some point release kind of like what's about to happen in September and October with kind of like this new phase of the hurricane stuff that we're about to enter. We definitely have stopped several of these storms for this year. So I originally was like, okay, it's probably going to be like 5 to 8 because that's what I was seeing in remote viewing. And now it's like from the latest remote viewing session on the hurricanes that I did over the weekend, I was able to now see, okay, there's only going to be 3 to 5 making it to the US, and that's still a lot, but the fact that it's gone down from my 5 to 8 is actually showing that we have stopped several. So this is huge. And next week I'm going to try and give a very uncensored version of what I see coming with detailed insights, so stay tuned for that. Then, after this, I don't want to always be on hurricanes. I definitely want to branch in more of my spiritual content or just deep diving into other stuff. But guys, I don't know how much more I'm able to get on these platforms because they're still heavily suppressed and restricted. But as long as, the people who are already, seeing it can still see it, that's all that matters. And I really appreciate everybody who has followed me or subscribed. I don't go out advertising because that's not my energy to like be like, oh, you have to like it, subscribe it. Like, I don't really care. But just know I'm really grateful for all the almost 100 people that have found my YouTube, and I don't know what I'm at on Instagram, but whoever has followed my Instagram too, I really appreciate that. So with that, I'm going to get into part 9 and 10, and I need to track down all the stuff that like blew away in the wind. I literally should have not let it blown away, but whatever. Okay, so these are going to be short parts. All my notes, guys, I need to like be more organized, especially when I'm jotting stuff down and then doing my videos. Like, I'm literally leaving it on the floor, and I don't like doing my videos inside. I'm always going to be like outdoors somewhere. Okay, so obviously, part 9, I said I was going to talk about what life was going to look like after Haarp gets shut down, and then part 10 is just a conclusion. I'm just merging the 2 in 1. Once Haarp is dismantled, the artificial interference in our skies will end. Okay, so once all the systems get shut down, so we're going to see immediate effects of the 5G stuff ending, those rapid intensification of the hurricanes, the chemtrails, that all stops immediately. What takes a little bit of time to recover is the weather patterns. Not saying that, oh, stuff is still going to be manipulated, just there's been a lot of damage that will take, a few years to fully heal. Fear-based programming around the climate will collapse. So that's when everything kind of comes to light and this system's dismantled. Okay, so that's huge too. I'm just really summing up these notes because I don't want to do too long of a video today. Okay, yes, so once all these, things stop, like the rituals stop, and with all these, the targeting of the portals, the targeting of the energetic grids, once all this kind of stops, that's when the frequency is going to start naturally raising back on this planet, and that's when the ascension is going to take off so rapidly. Because what these systems have done too is obviously slow down the awakening as best as they could. So, it's going to trigger like a huge, like, the energy on this planet is going to feel less manipulated and less tampered with, and it's going to be more of like that natural source-based energy, and not the energy of these, you know, all these unfortunate things that have gone on and haven't been spoken about, you know, openly, or if you speak about it, you're going to be censored. So just spreading awareness, right? So kind of, it's going to be immediate shifts with some things and slower with everything. There has been damage done, but I am confident just around 2030, we should be fully, it's fully back to normal. You finish that sentence, but it's so iconic, and it's so, guys, I don't even have a word. It's karma has caught up to them, because think about it, what they wanted to do for 2030, like their agenda of full global order, right? Full chaos, full destruction, full fear. The karma is insane, because it's looking like it's going to be the polar opposite of that timeline during 2030. So I just wanted to throw that out there. I just found that wild. Okay. So yes, guys, things are going to be shifting. Things are going to, you know, be back to normal. Part 10. So I'm merging these two. So I did want to answer, I really appreciate, I don't know who reached out, this was a couple months ago, about me tapping into the dunes on the west coast of Florida. So I was able to tap into the dunes on the west coast of Florida by the Tampa Bay area that were built by natives. So when I tapped in via remote viewing and channeling about kind of what that was all about, it seemed like they were very aware about these future storms that were going to try and take out the area. So they were getting notification to do something like that. Seemed like very awakened, very like, you know, I don't know the word, but they were very tapped into like needing to protect that area. So anyway, long story short, I found this amazing, because I was like, okay, like this is really cool. So I kind of remote viewed over that area, and I saw, okay, not only was it like dunes, like whatever you want to like picture those dunes as, like sand dunes, whatever, like dunes to prevent the water or the hurricanes from destroying that area, they set up energetic shields. And I was like, holy shit, like these people were like fully awake. Like they had to know that there was going to be some sort of events targeting that area. And it seemed like when Milton tried coming through there, like those, not only the dunes, but the energetic shields around that area saved that land. So I was like, wow, like, I don't know, like how they got the intelligence to like do something like that. Like, especially this was years before, obviously, like, you know, anything started with Haarp. I mean, it's just amazing how, you know, those who were here well before us, like in this human experience experiment, were able to know that, like, you know, shit was about to hit the fan with these like agendas and this reptilian like control that took over the planet. So they probably, you know, were awake enough to be like, okay, we gotta like protect this land because there will be manipulation in the future. I don't know, but it was very amazing. So I wanted to throw that out there. So just, you know, overall, just a conclusion to like my series. You know, I started this, I've been really passionate into talking about this. You know, this has been something I've been really wanting to cover for years now. And honestly, guys, like, it has not been easy getting to this point. Like, you know, it's one thing, guys, remote viewing and channeling all this, but it's another thing then like going public with it. And, you know, it has taken a lot energetically out of me. But, you know, I know this is a part of what I'm here to do and disrupt the matrix. And, you know, my intention is not to, you know, spread fear and chaos. And it's honestly just awareness, because like everything that I've shared, guys, like look at how we stopped this Aaron storm from hitting. Look at how we got ahead of all these other, you know, plans that have been trying to unfold. Like awareness is the solution. Like we don't have the political system really right now. We don't have any institution, right? Like, we have consciousness to shut these operations down. So that was my intention with this series. It wasn't like, guys, we need to all freak out and like hope for a Matrix-like solution to stop this. Like, the power's within us, right? And the power's within like kind of us consciously coming together and being like, no, you cannot destroy our planet. You cannot push these agendas. Hell no. And that triggers a lot of people still deeply programmed in this illusion. And I know a lot of them ended up finding my content, and I did have to shut off comments just because it got a little too crazy on there with, you know, some people. It was same people from TikTok who were sending weird like threats in these comments, like founding my Instagram. I don't know. It was very interesting. But I was just like, okay, for the near term, I'm gonna just leave comments off just because I'm not like dealing with the energy of several people who are having a reptilian fight or flight response over my content on, you know, bringing forward this type of information. So, you know, sending love and light to those souls. Hopefully their reptilian reaction doesn't keep triggering them and I can leave their mind or whatever. Guys, I don't know why people are still kind of freaking out over, you know, people just bringing forward remote viewing insights or channeling insights. But yeah, some people, I guess, are very like, it is like a reptilian like fight or flight response when they hear something of a higher, you know, truth being kind of talked about in a way that I embody, you know. And it's not like, oh, I'm like coming on here and like pulling the shit out of my ass. Like, I'm literally coming on here doing, you know, what I'm here to do, like just like bringing forward this guidance that, you know, I'm really grateful that I was able to learn how to tap into, knowing that like I came here with the codes already able to like do what I'm doing. So with remote viewing or channeling, you know, the Galactic Federation or councils, alliances, right? Like all these like tapping into the white hats, right? Like it's all this stuff. It's like, you know, it gets, I'm very grateful for what I'm able to do. So, but yeah, that's why I did shut off comments. So hopefully I'll turn them on soon. Yeah, and then just definitely stay on the lookout for more content. I know, you know, the last few videos I've done, I think they all have been maybe shadow banned. I'm not exactly sure. Guys, I don't really follow like how my video gets out there or not, but I know for a fact that there is some sort of suppression going on. So we'll see if it breaks, but my intention is to hopefully start a website where I'll be very unfiltered. Like, I want to get into like, you know, deeper stuff, but I don't know if I could do it on YouTube. But yeah, hopefully that'll be next year. And with that, I'm probably gonna, you know, I'm gonna tap into, okay, so next week I'm gonna give like a final big like hurricane video, and it might be a little intense with like kind of the information I'm gonna bring forward, but I'm gonna share all of it to hopefully shift us into a timeline where what I was able to find doesn't happen. So I'm gonna bring forward this, I'll do like one big video next week, but then after that I might shift away from the hurricane and the Haarp stuff just to kind of get back, you know, and start talking about more like 5D like things. And spiritual like content. Not that I'm like wanting to be a spiritual influencer and all that, like no, absolutely not, but I just maybe want to, you know, branch out just a little more, because obviously, guys, like I could go from Haarp to Pleiadians to like, I haven't even gotten into like Pleiadians yet. Like, love them, so like we need to go down more of a route, like how to connect with Pleiadia, right? Like there's just more stuff that I need to cover with you guys. And not only that, like, you know, just, you know, how to do white light meditations and shield yourself. I don't know, like I'm gonna branch more in, but next week I'm gonna do one big video on like the remaining part of this hurricane season. And then I'm gonna start branching out a little more. And no, I'm not gonna end all my truth codes, but I'm gonna be bring a little more light content, or like, you know, light, like meaning like not as heavy, even though I'm here to disrupt, but also I'm here to also help in that 5D anchoring. So that's something I'm going to start incorporating more, you know, after next week. So with that, guys, hang in there. We're going through a really huge shift on this planet. Just keep anchoring in your truth, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye for now.